I just saw Dune, the new one, not the janky old one from the 80s. But I really enjoyed it. One thing I can say about the movie with 100% confidence is that they definitely found the best director from the job. Denis Villeneuve did an insane job. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But I guarantee you that the way he took this story is the way that it was always supposed to be adapted on film. And another disclaimer before I get in too depth with talking about the film, there are going to be spoilers in this video, and I was surprised to learn that this is just a part 1 of the story. Hopefully they'll do more. There's already a part 2 announced. I don't know how many there are going to be, but this is just part 1. This isn't the entire Dune story, which I kind of liked because they were able to stretch and do what he needed with the movie to make it the story he always wanted to tell in the time allotted. And giving it more parts will allow him to make more money from it and allow the story to be told in the way that it should. Dune is a good movie. Any way you slice it, it's good. The story is good. It's pretty easy to follow unless you're just dumb. The visuals are good. Each way they decided to do an element, like the explosions are super cool. The shields, I think, were unique. Everything about this sci-fi world seems new and fresh and doesn't feel like a ripoff of all other sci-fi universes we've seen. And just like I talked about in the Tron video, which if you haven't seen, link will be in the description below, as well as the eye in the right hand corner. So go check that out after you watch this one, of course. But I really enjoyed Dune. I think this is the direction sci-fi is supposed to be taking with the close of the Star Wars saga in a kind of unsatisfying way. Something like this definitely feels like a breath of fresh air and something that we need in sci-fi. Another thing about the movie is just how beautiful everything looks. The sets, the characters, everything just looks good in the film. The film is definitely pleasing to watch, and honestly, I was so entrapped in the film, I forgot where I was for a bit because the story is so good and the visuals definitely add to that. There's some exposition in the story just because it's a new sci-fi film that some people have already seen from the 80s, but it's still a cohesive and followable story. The cinematography and filmmaking does nothing but drive the story in a really intriguing way that gives the film a sense of purpose. Every time there's a shot that's really cool, it adds depth and purpose to the shot and makes the scene feel all the more important moving forward. And the story is incredibly intense and incredibly enticing. No part of this film did I feel bored or wanting a certain scene to end because everything was done in such a way that gives the super long runtime, which it feels like, just feel like it's long, but every part of it is definitely necessary. I think Oscar Isaac and some of the other actors like Josh Brolin are definitely poured into the role and born to play it. It's just a fun watch. I loved watching Dune, and it was just super cool. I can't wait for part 2. There's a little bit of foreshadowing they did in the film, which makes you super excited, so hopefully that'll be super cool. Part 2 is coming out, and I just wanted to give a short synopsis of what I thought of Dune, because this is one of the films that I thought I would be remiss if I didn't talk about. So subscribe, like the video so others can watch it. Tell me what you think about Dune in the comments below, and I'll see you on the flip side.